For such a fun show, it can be a real heartbreaker. Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 saddest Stranger Things moments.
Oh, come on! Come on, kid! Come on, kid!
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we'll be looking at some of the most heartbreaking scenes from the Duffer Brothers series, and ranking them based on their emotional impact. Be warned, there are some major spoilers to follow. Number 10. Alexi's death. Poor Alexi. All he wanted to do was watch cartoons and have fun at the fair. Unfortunately, he betrayed his native country and got a bullet in the abs for his efforts. So much for that. What makes Alexi's death so heartbreaking is the lead up to it. He and Murray bond over Hop and Joyce's relationship drama, and he has an absolute blast at the fair, especially once he wins a Woody Woodpecker plushie. Combine that with his love for cherry slushies, and you realize that Alexi has the joy and innocence of a child. You could probably tell that his demise was coming, but that doesn't make it any easier to stomach.
Alexi! Oh my God.
Number 9. Mike and Hopper's confrontation. The final episode of Season 2 is just a whirlwind of emotions. First, we get the touching reunion of Mike and Eleven, a moment that we'd been eagerly awaiting all season.
I never gave up on you. I called you every night for 353 days.
This leads to an explosive and physical confrontation between Mike and Hopper, which culminates in Mike crying in Hopper's arms. It's devastating to see Mike in such a distressed state, and it once again reinforces what kind of a father figure Hopper is to these children.
You've been hiding her this whole time!
Hey, let's talk.
They may not always agree with his methods, but he's always there for them in the end. It's moments like these that elevate Stranger Things above the competition.
Stop it!
Liar,
That's okay!
liar.
Stop it! Stop it!
Number 8. Will's death. We imagine that this is the moment that hooked a lot of viewers.
Oh God, please tell me it's not the kid.
The third episode ends in spectacular and heartbreaking fashion as Will's corpse is fished from the quarry, while a cover of David Bowie's Heroes somberly plays in the background. It was a huge and greatly unexpected curveball that both broke our hearts and made us respect the show for its penchant to take major narrative risks.
It's not Will. It can't be.
Of course, Will didn't actually die, but hey, we didn't know that at the time. This scene also gave us the great funeral sequence, and while that later scene was quite sad as well, it was alleviated by the knowledge that Will wasn't actually dead. Number 7. I felt it everywhere. This scene is basically every parent's worst nightmare. In it, Will tells Joyce about his experiences with the Mind Flayer, how he felt it take control of him, and how he just wants the entire thing to be over.
No more secrets, okay?
It's a gut-wrenching scene that makes us feel terrible for both Joyce and Will, but particularly Will, and it proves that Noah Schnapp is one of the most talented child actors in the biz right now.
What is it? I don't know.
He deserved all the awards for this sequence alone, because he tugged at our heartstrings like no other.
I felt it everywhere. Everywhere. I still feel it. I just want this to be over.
Number 6. Goodbye, Mike. We can say this with confidence. The crew of Stranger Things knows how to craft a season finale. By the end of the first season, we were left in absolute tatters as Eleven sacrificed herself for Mike and the gang.
Goodbye, Mike.
The scene is beautifully shot and tailored for maximum emotional impact, including the use of slow motion, lingering shots of heartbroken faces, and a beautiful and melancholic score.
No more.
It was a tragic culmination of both the main story and the Mike and Eleven subplot, and it served as a beautiful ending to a beautiful season. Number 5. Barb's death. All memeing aside, Barb's death is actually quite horrific. First, she's ignored and laughed at during Steve's party. Then she's blown off by Nancy, who tells her to go home so she can sleep with Steve. And finally, as she's moping by the pool, she's devoured by a monster from another dimension. Now that is not a good way to go out. Just to rub salt in the wound, we also see Barb's corpse in the Upside Down, and it is not a pretty sight. Many people can see themselves in Barb, and her death was both horrifying and upsetting to witness. There is a reason she became such a popular meme.
Is Barb okay? Is she okay?
Number 4. Billy's sacrifice.
Don't be afraid. It'll be over soon.
It's amazing what the writers were able to do with Billy and Max in Season 3. They were introduced in Season 2, and it wasn't exactly a smooth transition. Many people found their presence jarring and needless, and they did little throughout the season to warrant their introductions. That all changed in Season 3, when Billy did a Steve-esque 180, and became a fan favorite. His sacrifice in the mall is one of the season's standout moments, and his apology to Max is simply beautiful. We never expected to cry over Billy of all characters, but such surprises are what you get with Stranger Things. Number 3. Hopper's death.
I'll see you in hell!
Man, the final episode of Season 3 really destroyed us. Everything was well and good and exciting until Hopper found himself trapped by the door-opening machine. Accepting his fate, he gives Joyce a poignant nod of approval before she flips the switches and vaporizes everyone in the gate room. It's an agonizing moment, but we later realize that Hopper may not be dead at all. It looks like the show is yet again pulling the character is not actually dead card, but regardless of your views on that, there's no denying that Hopper's exit was well shot and painfully moving, but also genuinely unpredictable. Number 2. Bob's sacrifice. While Billy and Max were a bit of a dud, Bob was welcomed by the Stranger Things fan base. And let's be serious, that was mostly due to Sean Astin.
Tell Jonathan not to pick anything scary. I hate scary movies.
How can you not love that adorable man? Unfortunately, he was ripped to shreds by the Demodogs, so that broke our hearts into a million pieces. The sequence was surprisingly bloody and graphic, which of course made it that much more difficult to watch and experience. The man was a saint, and he most definitely did not deserve to go out in such a painful and violent manner. Before we unveil our heartbreaking number 1 pick, and yes, it is a doozy, so grab some Kleenex, here are some honorable mentions.
Jane. Mom.
Stacy.
Yeah?
Shall we?
No thanks.
I need you to wake up now! I need you to breathe! Breathe! That's it! Oh my God! That's it!
Shout above our heads. Oh, we can be heroes. Just for one day.
I told everyone who came in. My son drew this. And you were so embarrassed. I was so proud.
Number 1. Hopper's speech.
What is that?
It's the speech Hop wrote for you and Mike.
Speech.
Was this a fantastic way to end the season or what? Hopper's speech is easily one of the show's most upsetting sequences, not only in regard to the words themselves, but the way in which they're mirrored and referenced on the screen through the brilliant editing.
I know this is a difficult conversation, but I care about you both very much. And I know that you care about each other very much, and that's why it's important that we set these boundaries moving forwards.
The speech serves as a touching summation of the show's themes regarding growing up and moving on, and it's contrasted with scenes of the Byers moving out of Hawkins.
For the first time in a long time, I started to feel things again.
It's such a perfect sequence that it could have served as the series finale, a fitting send-off for Hopper, and a show based around nostalgia and looking back at times gone by.
Keep on growing up, kid. Don't let me stop you. Make mistakes, learn from them. And when life hurts you, because it will, remember the hurt. The hurt is good.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Ms. Mojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.